Hi, Deb. I'm meeting
Hi.
with Deb. And I thought it'd be good to chat to Deb because she's one of the newest planters in the Geneva Network, just starting. When did you start, Deb?
Probably, well, I'm just trying to think, when did we pull off? The first week of school term, so February is when we first started meeting.
Yeah, and so not many weeks in, the whole COVID thing happened. And so I thought it'd be very interesting to hear from Deb, just the impact on that, of a pretty well brand new church. Yeah. How many weeks did you get to actually do your services in a public hall?
We actually got 7 weeks in the community centre, meeting together on Sunday afternoon. So that was good that we got 7 weeks.
Okay, so 7 weeks. And then, and then you were told, okay, there can be no public meetings. I'm just interested, actually, as you first heard that, what was your initial response for a new church?
Yeah, I think my response would probably be a bit different to Tim's response, but I think I personally respond to, oh, well, this is obviously, clearly under God's control and part of his plan. So he just wants us to do something different in a different way. Yeah. But of course it was like, oh, wow, we're just getting this happening. We've just got a place where we're still in the process of like figuring out where the chairs are and where the tables go and how we want tea and everything set up. And that's all, all going. We did try, I think one of the very last weeks before the strict regulations came in, we did try and kind of meet outside, spread apart. But that was clear that was kind of probably, not going to last and not working really well. But I think I was, for my personal response, was more intrigue of oh, okay, so we can't actually meet. Okay, well, we're going to have to get creative here. What's going to happen?
Yeah. So what is it 8 weeks? 8 weeks that we've had this kind of lockdown, I think, at the moment. Yeah. So how did you guys end up doing church? What did you do?
Yeah, so I think we moved to online church, which everyone has done. But I guess for us, we weren't super established. So it's been moving to online church from our house, from our lounge room.
Yeah.
Run by our family. So, Tim preaching, me reading the Bible, Evie basically being the production manager, telling us what we're doing when we're doing it, and the kids doing the kind of countdown to church and the activities before and after it. And then we, Skyped to James and Lauren or whoever was doing music for the song. And But another thing that we've been making sure we've done in church is doing household share time. So I guess with not having the opportunity to actually physically meet and get to know each other, continue to get to know each other as a core team, we've been enjoying Skyping to another household each week. So we basically just get to go into their home, say hi, share about what's been happening in their household, and they share with us, how they've been challenged or changed by God. So that's how we've been. That's how we've been doing church. But I think we've also we've had a messenger group as the core of Anchor Group that we've. That it was interesting. Just before COVID happened, I thought, this messenger group thing, it's not really got much traction. People aren't really sharing things. Maybe the group is just too big to be actually sharing, what you've been reading and what challenged you, or a song that you've enjoyed or whatever. I was sort of sharing those kind of things, and I was thinking, people aren't really responding that well. And Tim's like, maybe it's going to be more of a communication about things that we need to communicate to everyone, and we do the sharing in smaller groups. But I have to say, since COVID has started, that messenger group that has just blown up. It's just been amazing. So the amount of sharing on that has been a really big part of church, basically.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Particularly the core team, getting to know each other and share. So
how many are sort of part of church, would you say?
About 40 adults and 20 kids. 20.
Yeah. And you guys are up at Sawtell. I did forget to say that at the beginning.
Yeah, we're at Coffs Harbour. We're living in Sawtell, but we're meeting at Bawambi East Community Centre.
Okay. And so you moved church into the lounge room of the Baldwin family.
Sometimes outside.
Over the 8 weeks, do you feel like your church has gone backwards compared to what you might have hoped for? And that in some ways, do you think there's been losses by having to have this shutdown isolation? Or have there been benefits, or a mixture of both? Like, what's been the story for your church?
Yeah, I think definitely a mixture of both. Like I said, we've just sort of got into this hall, and we're part of gathering for church is actually, we get together and we get there early and we set up and we pray at 3:30 together, and it would start at 4. So I think that was hard to miss out on that, actually gathering in the one building together and working together to pull church off, to make it happen, and to be ready to welcome new people. So I think that was a loss, that kind of sense of coming together in the same place and making church together. I think, we're just new as a core team, so that kind of concept of getting to know each other. But like I mentioned before, that actually has turned into a bit of a positive, I think, so I'll probably label that under the benefits rather than the challenge or the loss.
Yeah, okay.
I think for me, because I'm sort of concentrating a bit on membership at the moment, I feel like the going online, it's been difficult to basically track whether your regulars are coming, tuning in online, and track new people watching. I think I'm not particularly tech savvy, so I think that's been a bit of a challenge for me to figure out the whole concept of membership with online church and the follow up of that. And I'd say that would be the losses, but I do feel like there's actually
but what benefits?
The same amount of benefits.
Yeah. So what's been good about this season for you guys? Yeah,
so like I said, I think that messenger group we've actually shared some really amazing things and got to know each other through that messenger group that wasn't doing so well before COVID. So, Tim encouraged us at Easter time, for example, to write our own Calvary poem or song or prayer. And everyone from the core team did something different and posted it. And it was just such a kind of personal sharing time on that.
Yeah. And do you think that wouldn't have happened if I
do feel that. I feel like there's something that obviously that you lose being face to face at church, but at the same time, I don't know, there's something quite personal that you're able to share online and able to share with a lot of people, I guess, at the same time. So I feel like that's actually been a benefit. Like I was worried about, I feel like we were just getting a core together and just starting, and now we've been scattered. And so I worried that our core wouldn't really, the culture of church and our core wouldn't get established and get to know each other, that we'd sort of go backwards. But I actually feel like we've gone forward. And I've heard the same with the online Bible studies. People have really enjoyed that time with each other. So perhaps it's sort of, with not being able to physically meet, people have really used the online thing, online.
That's interesting, isn't it? It's either less scary, or people have risen to the occasion because they knew they had to, or I know
exactly. Yeah, I think that's the case. And we've just been able to just think a bit more creatively about how to do things. So in terms of the kids, like how are the kids going to do things each week? We've actually just been delivering like a kids pack for them to do while Tim's sermon's on each week. And even that's just how excited the kids are to actually receive a little package. And because we're small and we're just starting out, that's something that we can do and is manageable. But just those little things have been a way to give to each other. And
yeah, that's a great idea. So someone drives around and gives them a pack that they've made, someone's made up the pack.
Yes, made up the pack for them each week. So so they've got that to open up for during the sermon. So there's been things like that I think have been beneficial. And like I said, household share time in the online service, that's been beneficial, because otherwise you're all at church, you don't all have the opportunity to go into that person's house and hear a bit about them, but it's almost been like, oh, we've all heard the same thing about that person, and it's quite helpful, and we've seen the inside their house and what their dynamics are, and so in that way I feel like it's been a benefit.
You could almost steal that idea, couldn't you? And even when you're gathering together, do videos of each other speaking in your own home. There's a scary thought.
That's right. Actually, Tim and I were meeting the other day, and we talked about, what are some things that actually been helpful that you may want to continue in some way. The positives, I guess, the benefits.
Yes, very good. What about you personally? Have there been losses for you personally, dealing with your own family, just with yourself, with your relationships through this time?
Yeah, I think the losses would be definitely I don't know, it's like family and relationship are intensified because you're just all together. And I was thinking the other day that, you really get to see what your family's like when you're with each other 24/7, and you don't have all the other activities that give you space or maybe distract you from things going on. So I feel like, this time is for everybody. It's probably been like really showed up what your family is and how you relate to each other, and
intensifies all of that dynamic, doesn't it?
It's been confronting in that way. Like there's been some things like, wow, we've got to sort this out, or we've got to address that. But I guess there's also been some really lovely times that we've had together. For me, I think the loss has been feeling like I just moved here, and I was just trying to establish my own routine, just got the kids to school and helping them to sort of settle into school, and figuring out, okay, when do I want to shop and clean, and when do I want to look at my emails and make calls and think about membership and all that. And I felt like that was just sort of thrown up in the air again. And, even the first few weeks, even hard to get out for exercise, and so I felt like mentally I was going down a little bit. I was getting a bit depressed.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Tim. You're now recorded for all the women at Geneva staff.
Typical Tim trying to get in on the action. So I think just the extra energy it needs to re-establish a routine while everyone's at home, I find that particularly difficult to get some space for myself and get my things done. I tend to be the person that everyone else's stuff sort of takes over me, and then I go, wow, I didn't even make that call that I wanted to make. I didn't even get any exercise this week. I didn't, So I think I found that that's been the challenging.
I think a lot of people would relate to you on that.
And people are going, oh, cool, we'll do this and this and this, and I thought of all these ideas, but the reality is I haven't done them. Like, it's just like, oh, I'm just living a day at a time.
Yes.
I think as a Christian too, I was like grateful to have time with my family, but I also didn't want to become obsessed with the family time. I still, we've moved up here to reach people and tell them about Jesus. And I felt a little bit like, I could just use this time and look after my family and do things to my home, or, do all the lovely activities. And they're not wrong. And I have had the opportunity to do that. But I was also constantly feeling like, I want to reach out to other people and things too. So
So have you been able to do that at all? Have you had people you've been able to connect with?
So a little bit. So there was a note that I received in the mail, which was lovely. They actually do community really well up here. There was a lovely note that I got in the mail saying, if you're alone or isolated and you need help, we can help you. We've got some volunteers in this local area of Sawtell that can come and, shop for you, give you a call, do things. And so immediately when I got that note, I was so impressed by it, and I said, oh, I don't need help, but I would like to offer. I'd like to become a volunteer.
That's a good idea.
How can I serve the community around me, and how can I get to know people and things? So I took on a certain section of Sawtell and did the note and got the boys to deliver it. So I haven't got many requests for help, but I did get a few people going, oh, thank you so much. That was so lovely, Deb, to receive that note and know that people care. So that's one opportunity that I took up. And we prayed that God would lead us to help people and meet people in the community through that. There hasn't been much, but I'm hoping that it will go beyond COVID. They've got my number. They've got my text number. They know where I live. If they need help, hopefully I can help them in the future. I think I've been able to meet people swimming still. So, I mean, we're so fortunate, aren't we, to be able to still get out and exercise.
Love it. Yeah,
I mean, Spain, they get out for an hour, only after 7 weeks, only an hour to exercise, whereas you know, we've got the beach just down the road. So a lot of people are still out and about. So trying to get out and swim and talk to people has been good. So there's a particular lady, Liz, that I met up at the surf club, a couple of different chats, and was able to encourage her to read through the Gospel of Luke, because she was really unclear about Jesus. And when COVID's over, I offered to sit with her and share the gospel. That's
exciting. I feel like there's a whole conversation there of how you even got to talk about the Gospel of Luke. But anyway, we are running out of time. Can I, as a last word, get you to lots of ups and downs with family for sure. Ups and downs with expectations of what this would be like, and then shutting down. For you, what's kind of been your internal dialogue, the thing that you say to yourself, or what you do in your own head to keep going through, getting your way through it, navigating your way through all of it?
I think I haven't so much been worried about COVID. I've been more worried about my response to it and what I'm doing to honour Jesus through it. So I think I've been asking myself that question, like each day, how can I honour you today, Lord? How can I make the most of this day for you? And I don't know, really focusing on, like I said, I found it quite tricky to plan ahead and get a good routine and make goals and things. So I have really been relying on the Lord just for each day. So just that, the Lord's Prayer, I've actually found really helpful to be going over that. And each day just going, okay, I ask you for my daily bread, Lord, just enough for today. I don't need to worry about tomorrow and the next day and things. Daily bread for today. Please help me to honour you today and work hard for you today. And, I think it's all that I don't worry about the overall thing. It's God's in control. His plan's still forging ahead. So in terms of that, I don't feel like that it's put a halt on that. I'm still forging ahead with God in his plan for the world. That's still happening. COVID can't stop that. So, really excited to, in that way, the dialogue hasn't changed for me. But I guess what's been helpful is to, even though it's been hard to get a routine, is to still have my, so Tim and I get up, 6 before the kids, and we have our individual sort of time with the Lord. And so, like I said, I've been reading through Luke really slowly, and working through that, as well as working through what we're doing at church, and been keeping a journal and writing things down. I feel like God's been doing lots of work in showing me my sin that I need to repent of, and so that's been a really special time, that morning time before the kids. So that stayed. That's something that's concrete, and I don't want to lose that. And then it's nice, Tim and I go and jump in the ocean quickly together. So that's been really nice to have that regular quick time with Tim before we come back to the house and everyone's emotions and the day. That's been good. To have regular time with God. And then I stop for prayer at lunch. Praying at lunch. So just having those regular things, I think, has kept me tracking well. And I have gone up and down, like mentally, emotionally. But like I said, my time with the Lord and my relationship with Him is
keeping that going.
Is keeping going strong. So
look, it's been lovely just having you share yourself with us, seeing your home. We feel we've been invited into your home.
That's right. Around by surfboards and skateboards.
And yeah, we'll be praying for Sawtell and what goes on at Coffs Harbour Anchor Church. And thanks, Deb, very much.
Please do. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.